Stephen.
Good.
All right. My wife said she gave me one sentence before I started crying, so I didn't even make it that far. As soon as he said that, it was just... I'm going to actually have her come up. This is what God has blessed me with. Ain't nothing better to have a beautiful wife that loves the Lord and just a handsome little man. And because he looks like me, so. Sometimes it's like looking in the mirror. I'm just like. She always jokes. She's like, I did have a part in this, didn't I? But yeah, it's been the title of the message is "It's Not Finally." A lot of people, as soon as they found out, they said, "Oh, finally." And I'm like, it's not the way that I looked at it. This is my story. God knew this day was coming, and He prepared us, placed people in our lives, and it's not finally. This is the time that He seen fit for us to bring a child into the world, and opened our eyes to a lot of things, and a lot of things that was brought up in me that I didn't realize was there. But we're going to start in Psalm 139, verse 13 through 16. And there's something in this passage that stuck out to me when it says the word book. You know, that's what our life is. He already knows the days that are fashioned for us. So for me, I'm going to show you some chapters in my life of what I went through and experienced and learned, and I think it'll touch you all's life, and hopefully look at your kids differently and how blessed you really are to be able to have kids. So starting in verse 13, it says, "For you formed my inward parts. You covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wondrously made. Marvelous are your works, that my soul knows very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret, and skillfully wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Your eyes saw my substance, being yet unformed, and in your book they were all written, the days fashioned for me, when as yet there were none of them." So the first chapter is, it all began when two people fell in love, and my wife and I fell in love and started the journey of life together. It's been 12 years now. How she put up with me that long is
America.
Yeah. The way I got her was on our first date. I picked her up in a 93 Chevy Corsica. And I was doing kettle corn at the time, and I had to take the front seat out so I could haul my propane tank. And I didn't put the seat back in, so when I picked her up, she opened the driver's side door. I said, "You have to get in the back because I don't have a front seat." So but I'm thinking, well, if I wouldn't have done that, then she might not have ever remembered me. Well, she remembered the guy that picked her up. with no front seat in a 93 Chevy Corsair. That's how I got her. She knew what she was getting into from that point. She knew. Then we're going to look at Proverbs 3, verses 5 through 6. And this, for a lot of people, they can say that they trust, but until you have to go through it, until you have to experience, when you actually have to trust in the Lord, when you can't do it on your own, that's a totally different ballgame than saying, oh yeah, I trust Him. But until you get to that point where that's all you got, it's a lot different. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your path. Amen. So the first part, you gotta trust. You gotta trust in Him. And then I think one of the hardest parts for everybody is it's not our own understanding, because there's a lot of things that didn't make sense through it all, through the journey of our life together. They didn't make sense. There's no why. There's nothing. There's no answer. But through it all, it just felt like a big giant rubber band that you just keep getting stretched. You keep stretching it, and it just helped me grow so much. Helped us grow as together. The time we got to spend together before we had our son. When you first get married, you just think that kids are just what happens. You get married, you have kids, you buy a house, car, whatever order. But you just think that's part of it. It's some magic wand. You get married and then you get this cast over you where you just automatically have babies and start a family. But it don't always work out that way. It don't always work the way that you had planned for it to work out. And at first, in anything that you go through, at first you're pretty strong. It's like, got this, and then as time starts going by, you're still staying pretty strong, but you're starting to get a little bit weaker, starting to have some doubt, starting to have some stuff creep in, the worry, is it going to happen? Just all this stuff that goes on as more time passes by. Because the first 5 years wasn't really concerned, really, so to speak, like, okay, maybe it's just taking a little bit of time, but then you just have that start to wonder, okay, is this going to happen? Okay, it's been 5 years, what's going on? And all this stuff starts coming to mind. And in those 5 years, we lost five grandparents between us. So it's just like all the grandparents just seemed like one after another. And then what gets me is just, more and more people start asking the question, are you going to have kids? Are you going to have kids? And yeah, you got to explain to everybody, yeah, we want kids, blah, 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 And some even give advice. Some advice you care not to hear that gives you bad dreams and look at people differently. But yeah, I don't want to hear how your wife. No. I better just go on with it. I'll share one of them. But make sure sure I word it right. He said, you know what, he's talking, he's like, yeah, it took us a little while too. But he said just one time, we was doing something outside, and I got kicked in the bad spot. I just put the bad spot. He said, well, it wasn't too long later, we got pregnant, so that's what worked for us. I'm like, I'm not gonna have somebody come up and kick me. It's like it must have just broke something loose. I don't know. No, I'm not gonna try that. What kind of underwear they wore? Just all kinds of stuff that you don't care to hear. But yeah. And then I got a video, and when Pastor is back there, he kind of looked at it and like, he's kind of scratching his head. I was like, it'll make sense. It's a Rocky scene. I mean, it's Father's Day. You gotta have some fighting, some manly stuff go on. I don't feel like I don't condone fighting, boxing. Throw this disclaimer out there. So, but this, looking back, this is kind of how I felt. Is when he fought the Russian. Felt like he was fighting an indestructible being, where he was just getting the tar beat out of him. And it seemed like every time he'd get up, kind of get going, just get knocked right back down. And that's kind of how I felt. You're fighting, you're plugging along, you're trusting God, and just seemed like just one thing after another. You just keep getting knocked down, but you keep getting backed up. So we're gonna play the clip. We checked it, make sure there wasn't no language. Because I listened to it last night. I think it's the same one, but so we're gonna watch it.
Trying to stay in the middle of the ring against the big Russian. Do what you gotta do. Stay with it.
Anybody felt like that in their life? Felt like you just, one thing after another, you're getting up, you're just getting absolutely just beat, but you keep getting back up, you keep fighting, you keep trusting. And then you get that one blow, and you realize, hey, this person's for real. And you just keep fighting, you get that momentum, start going, start to get a little more confidence, a little more trust, gain back, and you get one good blow in. Now we're going to look at Job 1, verses 6 through 8. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan also came among them. The Lord said to Satan, "From where do you come?" So Satan answered the Lord and said, "From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking back and forth on it." Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man, one who fears God and shuns evil?" So if that was me, I'd be like, "Really, God? Why you got to bring me up in this? Why you got this is Satan, this is God? Come on, why me?" And he's not just like, just what about? He's like laying it on. He's blameless. He don't like evil. There's none like him on earth. I mean, you might start beginning like, yeah, I got this. But he was really, to me, he's like, man, he's just really selling it. Mm-hmm. And then, you think about, the video that we can get that way. I feel like, and we can't overcome. We can't get that one blow that's going to get us going. Because in our life, it just seemed like the next, I said, the next chapter, the next basically kind of 6 years, it just seemed like it was just one thing after another, and you just get wore down. And some people might know, but there's probably not very many that kind of knew what was going on in our lives or our family's lives around us. The first thing was I lost my dad. It just seemed like when everything just started unraveling. Because you think about it, he's the head of the family. Fathers, we need to remember that we're the head of the family.
Amen.
And mothers, would we be prepared if something happened to the head of the household? Would it be all right, or would it just unravel? Nothing going on, don't know what's going on, what's happening, because it's just shaking. Would your family still be all right if they was not there? Something to kind of think about, and kind of maybe, if you haven't thought about it, to think about it. It's not the next oldest child that steps in, it's the next oldest son that steps up and takes that lead. Maybe not very many people know that, maybe just think it's just the next oldest person, but it's not the case. And then things that were going on in our family just seemed like one thing after another. There was divorce, there was breast cancer, there was 3 miscarriages, somebody experienced rape, there was stealing going on from members, stealing from other family members and from other places. And then what to do with the farm, what to do with everything. Got laid off twice. And that's on top of what my wife and I are going through in our lives, our struggles. That's just what's going on around us. That can wear you down. That can just bring you down, and that's when you feel like you have nothing left. But you just keep pressing on. You just keep believing, you keep trusting. that God's not going to leave you. He's right by your side through it all. More years go by and nothing. But we still had hope. We still believed and we still trusted. Seemed like when we were at our wits' end, seemed like we couldn't go on any further. Somebody would speak something into our life. From somebody here, somebody, met, run into. It just seemed like when he was at the point of just throwing her hands up, giving up, I can't do this anymore, I can't take it. Somebody would always speak some, hey, I had a dream, hey, this or that, or share something in their life. And they would just give you that boost you needed to make it through a few more weeks or however long it was going to be. But God was just stirring, revealing things to me, showing me things, opened my eyes. Because there's other people where she worked at and people I met that was going through the same thing. But they wasn't getting the results that we was. Some of them they didn't have hope. They was told they couldn't have kids. But yet we still had that hope to hang on to. That we still have a chance. Because when you have a baby, it's not really in your hands.
That's right. You
have the means. How do I say it? The means to do it, but he's got to place it there. It's out of your control, and everybody wants to control stuff in their life, but this you couldn't. It was out of our hands because what was going on health-wise and everything else. They didn't have that hope we did. Through the whole process, I started just watching parents, watching how they interact with kids, how they treat their kids, how they react when things aren't going so good, when their kids acting up. So if you ever caught me just kind of staring at you and watching you interact with your kids, I wasn't being creepy about it. I was just trying to watch and try to learn. Okay, nope, did not work. Didn't do that. Scratch that one off. Does not work. But that's how you learn. That's how I learned, by watching others, listening how they interacted with their kids. I think that it's helped me a lot for when he grows up and learning. I think most people just take it for granted that if you never struggled having kids, you just think, this ain't no big deal. Why, But when you struggle, you pray, you cry, you've been prayed over so many times, and you realize how lucky you really are. Because every time I look in his eyes and he's looking back at me, it just melts me, because it's just like it almost was. That didn't make sense, but
You got you.
yeah. It almost was not to be. But God had other things in mind.
Yep.
And hopefully this will change your outlook on things and change the way you look at your kids, how much of a gift they truly are. And one phrase I told my wife, I said, if I hear this one more time, and it's, because everybody's just, just wait. Just wait. Just wait till you have kids. Just wait till they get to this. Just wait till you have another one. Just wait. I'm just like, I hear that one more time. Because I want to enjoy the now. I want to enjoy each and every day. And when that point comes, hopefully, I believe God will equip me for that time and that season. But right now, I'm just enjoying all of them every chance I get. And some people have them for the wrong reasons, use them for use them for leverage in certain situations, treat them like they're just a paycheck, you know. And, you know, when you see other people pregnant and you're still struggling to have kids, there's one, we went to a pretty redneck thing in Iowa. School bus races is how many times you can flip your car over, whatever you could hook on the back of your truck derby. Man, and we wore we'll dress casual, like khakis and just like a t-shirt. We was like the most overdressed. Shorts, cut off shirts, you know. They was using cardboard but the beer came in was their cooler and they just put ice in it. You know. I was like, I never thought of that. Why didn't I think of that? I could have saved buying all those No. But, you know, I seen a woman look like she could go right there. She was about ready to go, and she was smoking. And I said something kind of loud, and my wife's like, "Will you be quiet? You're going to get killed." But to me, it just, you know, you don't realize, I mean, that's what that baby's feeding on. That baby feeds off the mom. And that baby's taking that in. So I'd just be quiet. Grab my arm because it hurt. I'm getting hit. But you do, when you see people that just take it for granted. You know, walking into Walmart one time, she couldn't have been 18 years old walking by. She's like, well, I don't even know who the dad is, and blah, blah. I'm just like, she's like,